Hi everyone, welcome to day two's challenge with Makecode Arcade for the 12 blocks of Christmas this year. So what we'll do is we're going to go through the maze tutorial. This has been offered for the last couple of years and it was a very popular one. So let's walk through it so that if you wanted to watch this later, you can follow along with some instructions. Should the instructions in the tutorial may not be so clear, sometimes it's best to see and hear things that are happening. So let's get started. So you're going to scroll down to the tutorials area and find the maze tutorial. And what happens is you will get a little prompt. So what you're going to do is basically we're going to build a maze of our screen. And just like a video game where you can, while you're moving your character, the screen follows a character. That's a feature that we're going to add to this game as well. And we also have to make some walls so that your character cannot go through a wall unless we want them to. So we'll get into that as well. So let's get started. So the first thing we have to do is make our own player. So we can set our sprite to a kind of player. And what we're going to do is we're going to go choose that player from the library. So click on that gray little icon, apologies, where it says sprite. Instead of it being just a gray box, we're going to go to the assets, or sorry, the gallery, and we're going to actually just choose a player that we want. So let's go with, let's go through, choose whichever one you'd like. And you can actually edit the character as well if you'd like to. Actually, let's go choose a different one that's more centered. There we go. And once we're done there, we're just going to go to the bottom right and click done. So now we have a character that will that we've set our character, or we've created our character for the game so far. That's all we can do. So now let's make our sprite figure move with the controllers. So let's get a move sprite with buttons from the controller and put it right under that set my sprite to block. So now if I were to go to the preview here, let's check this out. So now if I use the up, down, left, right arrows on my keyboard, or if I press them on the touchpad here with my mouse, well, it's like a little joystick. Problem is, I go off the screen. So we have a couple of different problems here, so let's go fix those. So let's create that tile map. So that maze is what we're going to build next. So pull a set tile map 2 from the scene, and we're going to put that on the start. Set tile map 2 right here. And we'll put it right, I guess it doesn't matter where we put it, as long as it's within the on start. And what we're going to do now is we're going to set that tile map to change. We're going to change it to what we want. So let's go. We're going to draw your own maze. So make sure you pay attention to this instruction here. So be sure to leave a path from the start to the end, so the user can escape. So you have a start position and an end position, and leave an empty tile on both in the start and the end location. So let's go into the tile map here. Let me just move my screen out of here. And what we're going to do is, in the editor, there are different themes of blocks that you can use. So there's forest, there's aquatic, and there's different pages, I believe, as well. Let's see here. Let's see if I, oops. It's got to zoom out here, I think. Let's see here, minus. There we go. My screen was just a little bit too big. I'm just going to go back out here. So go back in. There we go. Yeah, you can see different pages of tiles that you can use. So in the bottom left-hand corner, and choose a theme that you'd like. I'm going to go with the dungeon. I guess personal preference, or I guess it doesn't really matter, but it's something that I will choose. It has a nice corner bricks. So if you wanted to put the corners, so you just have to click on the tile that you want and put it in the corners and make the walls however you'd like. If you're wanting to do a straight path, let's see here. Do we have edges here? Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the top wall. So if I click and hold my mouse and drag, it'll actually draw that wall, and I'll keep going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording, give you some time to build. I'll come back to show you some steps along the way, and then you can pause this and then you can come back to it however you like. So let me pause the video. So I'm just getting my wall, I have my exterior walls up. One shortcut that I'd like to show you is some of these tools in the left-hand side. One of them is fill. So if you want the whole base of everything else that hasn't been defined to be this floor, you can use the fill and it'll fill everything that is not that has not been defined yet. And just remember to erase 2 tiles for start and finish. So that's what I have right here. So I'm going to keep going, and I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, so I have completed my maze, and this can be as intricate or as detailed as possible, or as you'd like, I guess. What I have here is I have paths, just like a maze, some with dead ends, some without, but you always have to make sure that there's a path to the finish line. Okay, so I'm going to go next and see what's going on here. So now we have to put the start and the end tiles in, and we have to define those as like two tiles that won't be in anywhere else. So let's go back into the tile map and let's do a start tile, because we're going to tell the code or tell the program where is our player going to start. So I'm going to start at let's see here. Let's start at this blue tile here. I'm going to start it right here. And let's finish with the treasure, I guess. So I've done that, and that's where we're at so far. So next, place my sprite on top of random in the scene and drag it to the on start. Okay, so let's go to the scene, place my sprite on top of random. Okay, and that's what we're going to do on the start of our program. And instead of the random, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go in and choose that tile that we use. So my start is this one right here, this blue one. And that's very important that there's only one of those in our program, because we're telling the program to put the player on that tile to start the game. And if there's more than one, it could have more than one start position, which you could actually program, have more than one start position. But for the purpose of a start and an end in this game, we're just going to have a start right here. Okay, so next, the player is now off the screen, which makes it so, here we go. What I showed you before is that our player can sometimes go off the screen, and we want to take that off. So we want to go to the scene and camera follow sprite, and we're going to put that in the on start. This will make the camera follow the player as the character moves around. So what we're going to do is we're going to go pull that up and just see how that looks. And let's just go here, down, down. See right now, so it's following the screen. That's good. We've set our walls. But right now what you're noticing is that we're going through walls, and that's kind of not really the point of the game. We want to be able to have walls, and that's what we're going to do next. So let's go to find on sprite of kind player overlaps at location in the scene. Okay, so let's do that. On sprite kind of player overlaps. There we go, right here. So we're going to drag one of these into the area. Click the checkered box on the change it to the tile, the selected tile for the end. So what happens is we're going to tell the program what happens when the sprite or our player reaches the treasure, or in this case, the end. So I'm going to choose the treasure box. And so basically this sandwich of this block right here is like what's going to happen when that player touches the treasure. So let's go see what's going to happen here. we're going to tell the player or whoever's using the game's over. So let's put it under here. But instead of lose, we're going to make it to win. So just toggle that over so that when they touch the treasure, it shows that they've won. So now let's go into the game and see what happens here. So if I start and I use I'm still going through walls. This is not really cool. But what happens is if I go to that treasure, it says win. Great. Still too easy. Let's make some walls. Oh, and a countdown too as well. So let's make sure that we go into, let's see here, from the info, let's start a countdown. So we're going to start a countdown when the game starts. This timer can be however you feel like it's appropriate. So you can play play your game, see how long it actually takes to navigate from start to end, and change your time accordingly. So that's totally up to you. So let's go back into our editor now and make those walls. So go back to originally in the start where it says set tile map to. What we're going to do is make the walls. So if we go to, let's see here. This block right here. So see this block right here? This is actually a wall. So what we're wanting to do is make sure that we highlight wherever there's a wall. So click and drag or drag and hold wherever there's a wall until all of your walls, including the exterior walls, are completed. So I'm going to pause this for a second and come back when I'm done. I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that as well. Okay, we're back. You'll notice that I have my walls all defined, highlighting the red wall by clicking on all of the walls in my maze. Now, here's something that you can throw in just for fun. I don't know if you've ever played video games. Some games have kind of secret codes or secret passages. And in a maze, how about we make a secret path that the user may not even know about? So once we take our walls out, if we wanted to use the eraser tool right here, while still selecting the wall icon, if I want to make a pass through for a player, if they want to maybe cut through and do a shortcut, let's erase the wall that I've defined. So if I go up here and take that wall out, now it's a tile, it's no longer a wall. So if I go back out of my game and play this game, let's press A. So if I now, oh, what happened here? I didn't save it. Oh, let's go back to my tile map. Oh no. Oh, weird. I think I was just a little bit too fast there. Let's try again. Press A. There, now it works. That was just a little bit too quick. So now if I go through, oh, my character is a little bit too big to go sideways. Oh no. So these are little debugging problems that you may encounter as well. So my character is actually a little bit too tall to go sideways, which is kind of funny. So I'm going to actually just go to my character and choose a smaller one in the gallery so that they can move sideways. Maybe, let's see. Let's pick maybe a ghost instead. Let's try that. So if I pull up my game, see if my ghost works. Really slow at this. Let's try again. There we go. Oh, this is a really hard game. Should have probably looked at this before. Let's see here. Pause. Well, after a little bit of debugging, it turns out that it was just me and the controller that were not working very well. So let's go try this game out again and see what happens. So I press A and use my joystick. All right, that end. Pass through. See, there's my pass through. And I think I might have to play with the timer a little bit. Still a little bit slow. So now what I'll do is, because I found that to be too short, I'm going to go down to my countdown block. I'm going to put it to, say, 15 seconds to give people a chance to maybe get to the end, since they may not know about that pass-through as well. So let's start the game over all the way down. Woo! That was quick. So anyways, there's a quick little walkthrough that includes some debugging. So hopefully that is a term that you can look up or your teachers can help you with. Debugging is a very important skill when it comes to computer programming, and we did a little bit of debugging today. So enjoy maze building. One thing I will suggest is, if you start with this and you want to make it larger, you can also do that as well by coming down to the bottom left-hand corner here. This is a 16 by 16 grid. So that's the size of your tile map. If I change that to 32 by 32, what happens is now my maze is larger. So if you wanted to make a larger game with a big, different obstacles, different paths, larger maze essentially, you would just come back into your tile map, change it however you'd like, following the instructions that we just went through, and challenging some friends or even some family to complete your maze. So happy coding, happy 12 blocks of Christmas, and we'll see you all next time.